could begin like any fairy tale. Once upon a time. Once upon a time, in ancient India, there was a great empire ruled by a Muslim dynasty from Central Asia, the Mughals. They made their capital at Agra, 270 kilometers from what is today the city of Delhi. Most famous of those Mughal emperors was Shah Jahan, not for the battles he won, but for the love he bore for his princess, the beautiful Taj Mahal. As in so many sad stories, the princess passed away at the peak of her beauty, dying in childbirth. Overwhelmed by grief, the emperor vowed to build in her memory the most beautiful funeral monument ever seen, the Taj Mahal. Fairy tale dream in marble, a symbol of eternal love, the Taj Mahal. Thousands of people flock to Agra from all over India in a pilgrimage to the Fountain of Love. And with foreign tourists coming from all over the world, some 5 million people visit the Taj Mahal each year. Every morning, the trains disgorge a new crowd of tourists. And that's how Mukul makes his living. He's one of the most famous tourist guides to the Taj Mahal. As their coach crosses town, Mukul briefs his customers. Conditions of entry to the Taj are very strict.
It dates back to 1500 BC, before Christ. In your bags, you should not have any kind of eatables. No fruits, no chocolates, no biscuits, no cakes, no cigarettes, no pipes, no lighters, no cigars, no chewing gums, no knives, no scissors, no mobile phones.
1 kilometer from the tomb, they change coaches. Diesel engines are forbidden near the monument. To reduce the damage from pollution, electric buses are used. The rules may seem confusing to some, but for Mukul, this is all part of the routine. He's an expert at smoothing over any problems.
So it's not too difficult, because everyone who comes here is thrilled to see the Taj Mahal. Well, if they do get upset by the rules, they're soon overwhelmed by the sheer beauty of the monument.
Getting in is the hard part, and it's never been easy. To protect the tomb from intruders, the builders surrounded it with massive walls. To make entry even harder, it's shielded on one side by the Yamuna River. On the opposite side, by the entrance, a huge enclosed courtyard acts as a first line of defense. Getting in through the great central doorway is no easier now than it would have been 4 centuries ago. Strict security filters the flow of visitors, and woe betide anyone who didn't listen to McCool's advice. Even inside, no cameras are allowed within 50 meters of the tomb, hidden beneath the great marble dome. The servants of the Indian government guard its treasure well. The Taj Mahal takes about $100,000 a day. But the government isn't the only one to benefit.
Okay, now we take one shot alone. Now you can stand together.
Mahipal is a photographer, one of that tireless army of helpers that offer their services to tourists.
Thank you.
His task is simple, catching visitors' attention at the entrance and offering them a souvenir almost as timeless as the monument itself.
No, I think if you like to have my picture, because we will make your picture very nice picture. Give me your hand. All fingers are closed.
Mahipal has to be creative and ready to take charge.
Excuse me. Say cheese. Can you kneel down? Okay, next. Adai. 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 Now you alone. Thank you.
Speed is the essence in this trade. Now their photos have been taken, the visitors will go and look at the monument. In 20 minutes they'll be back, and the pictures will have to be ready. Outside, near the car park, Mahipal hands the film over to his brother-in-law to be developed. And he tells him to be quick. It's a well-practiced routine. This lab specializes in Taj Mahal photos, and in less than 15 minutes, the job is done. While he's waiting, Mahipal tries his luck with another group of tourists from Denmark. His portfolio is a testament to his talent and his originality.
Yes?
When business is good, I use the money to get things like these gold bracelets and the watch. I even bought a motorcycle. In Agra, all the money comes from the Taj Mahal.
Once again, everything has worked smoothly.
That's pretty okay. I want that.
The clients are pleased with the pictures, and they go back to their hotel happy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
The Taj Mahal is truly the goose that lays the golden eggs. But like the goose in the fable, you have to look after it. Time leaves its mark, and given the size of the monument, keeping it in good order is a formidable task. Tourist guides like Mukul are often the first to spot any damage. It's part of their job to report it so restoration can begin promptly.
You see this repair work? She's preparing a kind of stucco. All these columns are sandstone, coated with stucco. They were made that same way in the 16th and 17th centuries.
On the south side of the mausoleum, beneath the arcade of red sandstone, 20 stone carvers are hard at work. Hour upon hour, day after day, they hammer life back into the pieces of this constantly renewed jigsaw puzzle. Leela Singh has been working here for years, along with his friend Nizamuddin. Together, they repeat the same tireless movements, reproducing patterns carved by their ancestors 4 centuries ago. There have been stone carvers in these galleries for several decades, ever since the Indian authorities decided to restore the Taj Mahal.
We've worked here almost all our lives. We've been working on these stones for 14 years, and there's been a big improvement in the restoration in that time. That's why the Taj Mahal still looks like a giant sculpture.
Every cut must be precise, as every stone has its own place. The red sandstone gives the most problems.
The sandstone becomes brittle because of the rain. Marble is different. It can last 1,000 years. But look at this sandstone after only 3 centuries. This bit, for instance, is all eroded. I'm going to take care of it and replace it, so it looks the way it was before.
Even marble can suffer the ravages of time and pollution. Sometimes it needs recutting piece by piece to recreate one of those million little details of the original work.
If I'd had the chance to work here when they were building the Taj Mahal, I'd have loved it. But this restoration work gives me great satisfaction.
Those blocks of stone lying by the side of the road may one day become part of the Taj Mahal. They come from the original quarry 100 kilometers from Agra. Sandstone has been quarried here for centuries. Sometimes Leela Singh brings one of his grandsons here, secretly hoping to spark an interest in the craft.
You see, this place is very famous. It's called Khan. This is where they quarry the stone for the Taj Mahal. Look, you sometimes find round white spots in the red stone. The colors are all mixed up together. That's what makes each stone so beautiful. We call that chittidar. It is the kind we like best for the Taj Mahal. Have you understood? Will you do this job when you grow up?
Yes, I'd like that.
That's good. If we don't share this knowledge with them now, later it will be too late, and they'll end up not even knowing the names of the stones. We know them all, and that is why we have to tell our children to make sure this craft continues in the future.
In Agra, music and the Taj Mahal go hand in hand. Occasionally, musicians are allowed to play within the monument, but most performances take place outside. It's in the hotels around that most artists do their show. Here, a privileged few can get a feel of what life was like in the time of the Mughals. Madhu is a famous sitar player. She often performs in these hotels, playing music from the Mughal era. It's her way of taking part in the life of the Taj Mahal.
We artists of Agra, when we perform for foreigners, we become their direct link to the Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal is a symbol of love, and music is a fine medium to express the depth of that love. I believe that music is very much like love. Both come straight from the heart. For me, the Taj Mahal and the music are the same. It's from here that I most enjoy looking at the Taj Mahal, because you can see its reflection in the water. When all the birds are singing and when the sky is blue, it's really beautiful.
Every day, Madhu has to practice for several hours. It's been like that ever since she discovered the sitar when she was 10 years old.
When I was little, I was attracted by a curious ring that I saw on a girl's finger, and I wondered how I could get one for myself. When I went to high school, I found it was used to play the sitar, and that's how I decided to become a sitar player.
Madhu shares a house with her friend Usha. She's an artist too, a painter, but mostly she manages the careers of performers like Madhu.
I'm a sort of coordinator and an agent. I find work for artists and negotiate contracts. So we ask in hotels if there are any cultural shows coming up. And there's a network of guides and agents who know the circuit and the people to contact.
Tonight, Madhu has been booked to perform at one of the best hotels in town. A group of tourists are spending the evening at the hotel, and for those few hours, Madhu's sitar will take them back to the time of the Mughals. In this fairy tale atmosphere, Madhu's music weaves its magic spell.
Taj Mahal for me is a monument of perfect harmony. A music like this in such a surrounding, it means also harmony to me. The same as a good wine you drink on your holidays. If you bring a bottle home, it will not be the same as you had it days ago on the seashore or wherever.
When the morning sun rises over the Yamuna River, another kind of music takes over. The everyday sounds of the city, many of them little changed over hundreds of years. And every morning, there's another kind of dance. Hundreds of pigeons circle over the houses around the Taj Mahal. The tourists on the hotel terraces scarcely notice them, but for the local people this is a familiar sight, for they are the true masters of the pigeons. The object of the game is to control the pigeon's flight with flags and the human voice, and you try to get a rival's birds to join your own flock. It's a tradition that goes back to the Mughal emperors. Mukul is well versed in the history of the sport.
It's a sport that has been in existence for 500 years, especially in the time of Jehangir, the fourth great Mughal emperor. He was a great pigeon fancier. He had at least 6,000. It started under the Mughals, and today it still continues in the Muslim quarters. It's a skill that has been handed down through the generations.
The birds are cherished, pampered, and raised like champions.
The hardest part is training them. The trainers with the fittest pigeons get the best results. We give them supplements in their food to increase their strength and stamina. And in this neighborhood, I have the best pigeons.
The area around the Taj Mahal is called the Taj Gang. It's a maze of narrow streets and small houses built long ago by the workers who built the Taj Mahal. Today, their descendants still live here, and many of them still work at the Taj Mahal, like Kishore. Every day, except Mondays, he works there as a gardener. A third of the Taj Mahal's 150 employees look after the gardens, perfecting the notes in a floral symphony, composed perhaps by the original builders. Kishore always starts with a tour of inspection to decide the priorities of the day, flower by flower, tree by tree.
Pruning, trimming, watering, planting. There's always something to do. That's how we keep the gardens looking beautiful. That's why the visitors fall in love.
Kishore knows all the plants in the garden, their names, their smells, their textures.
This tree is called JOUR. Its foliage looks like a horse's tail. These leaves are really beautiful.
Some of these plants are very delicate, and looking after them can be difficult.
This plant is called Akilipa. Insects attack it and it dies very quickly. Look at this leaf that's been eaten. We have to change these plants every year. Whatever we do, the insects always have the last word.
To keep the Taj Mahal looking beautiful, the gardeners have to replace hundreds of plants every year. To get them, they must cross the Yamuna River. Kishore makes this trip often. For a gardener, the place he's going to is like heaven. The Golden Nursery is the most famous in Agra. There are thousands of plants here, many of them destined for the Taj Mahal. When Kishore comes here, he spends hours looking at the plants, touching them. He must choose the best, and for that he needs all his experience.
This one's a good green, but the tip of this one is burnt.
Don't worry, we'll select them for you and we'll give you the best.
Kishore has an eye for these things.
Sometimes the tip of the plant is dead, but if the roots are all right, it will still grow.
The Taj Mahal has strict rules for selecting its plants.
In our gardens, we try to get all the same kind of plants, the same size. It looks better that way. A tree like this would take 5 or 6 years to reach this size. The garden ahead of us is a Persian garden. It's divided into 4. It's called a charbagh.
The interpretation of the garden is one of the highlights of Mukul's guided tour.
The canals and fountains have always been here. Originally, the water was raised with chains of buckets, but the lawns didn't exist then. The English made them in the 19th century.
A few hundred meters from the Taj Mahal, you can visit the palace where the Emperor Shah Jahan died. As a good storyteller, Mukul understands the importance of detail.
During his last illness, the emperor could lie here and see the tomb. And when he died, his body was carried downstream by boat and laid beside his beloved princess.
It's skills like this that make Mukul the most sought after of all tourist guides. Tour operators like this one fight for his services all season.
Mukul keeps studying. He's always perfecting his French and his German. And his stories are never the same from one visit to the next. He's always enriching his commentaries.
Even at home with his family, Mukul never really gets away from the Taj Mahal. He has all the latest books on the subject, and because he's such a perfectionist, he's the obvious choice to escort VIPs: Harrison Ford, François Mitterrand, Lady Di.
When I shook Lady Diana's hand, I really got goosebumps. She was so beautiful. I'll never forget it as long as I live.
To be the best, you have to take visitors behind the scenes, and that's what Mukul does.
Jaspe, etc., etc. Donc ce qu'ils font, ils gardent une pierre entre les deux doigts et la pouce de la main gauche. Ces meules sont en émery. Je montre aux gens des
I show people things that other guides can only talk about.
Ne montre pas ou ne raconte pas.
Agra has several workshops where precious stones are carved. To fit its slot in the marble, each stone has to be cut very precisely. The techniques used today are much the same as when the Taj Mahal was built.
Look, nothing has changed. The way they cut into the marble to make the holes. Look at those chisels. You really needed nimble fingers to work when the Taj Mahal was built.
Each slab of marble is incised with thousands of hammer blows, inlaid with countless precious stones. And the cost in sweat is added to the cost of the finished stone.
Something like this piece is costing about 30,000 French francs.
Every factory has its own shop. This is one way the descendants of those who built the Taj Mahal can earn a living from their ancestors' know-how. A little further into town, Mukul knows another interesting place. But tour buses can't go there. It's round the back of a shop, and it's not open to everyone. These tapestries were made by Shams, a contemporary artist who died recently. His work has become famous far beyond the banks of the Yamuna, not least because of the remarkable sense of depth.
The relief is created by doing a stitch over a stitch. It's cotton mixed with silk.
Like so many Indians, Shams had a particular love for the Taj Mahal, a love that inspired this tapestry.
You see the canal? If you move, it moves with you. It always looks as if you're standing before the southern face of the Taj Mahal.
Right at the back are the real treasures.
Usually, no one is allowed in these rooms. What you're about to see is amazing.
The tapestries displayed in this room are closely guarded. They're worth thousands of dollars. We just have time for a few pictures before they're hidden away from the sight of common mortals. Once a year, India celebrates Diwali, a Hindu family festival. Shops stay open late into the night. This photographer's studio belongs to Mahipal's brother, Kishan. This evening, all the pretty girls in the neighborhood will come to have their pictures taken. Kishan works in a tiny studio, just 10 square meters, rather more cramped than Mahipal's Taj Mahal. The whole family makes its living from photography. There are 4 brothers, some working in the studio, others at the Taj Mahal.
Well, the two activities go well together. But for making a living, it's true the Taj Mahal brings in more money. I even have a couple of clients who come every year and ask me to photograph them in front of the Taj Mahal. And each time I take about 40 pictures.
At Diwali, it's traditional for families to get together and make wishes for the coming year. Tonight, at Mahipal's house, they're praying to Lakshmi, goddess of prosperity. One way to ensure that the year ahead will be as profitable as the last. Then it's time for the children. Near the Taj Mahal, most of the commercial activity is centered on Taj Gang. Every day, its labyrinth of narrow streets becomes crowded with visitors. Here, the little shops can provide everything they need, and some things they don't. It's among the hotels that competition is most intense. They're always fighting over which one has the best view of the Taj Mahal. In this game, the Shanty Lodge is one of the winners. Mukul knows the manager well, and he often comes to have a drink on the terrace.
It's the highest building in the neighborhood, so you really do have the best view of the Taj Mahal.
The manager is always trying to convince the tourists that it really does have the best view.
The other hotel, they are making like a big hotels, but still they haven't got a view like us. So mostly people are preferring Shanty Lodge.
The success of this business filters down to all sorts of others, starting with the taxi drivers who know the best places to take tourists. The economy of the whole town relies on the romantic fascination of the Taj Mahal. Its story never fails to captivate visitors.
It may be the greatest love story in the world. A famous Indian poet and Nobel Prize winner said, "The Taj Mahal is a tear on the cheek of eternity."
The Mughals were Muslims, and they left their mark on a country where the majority are Hindu. In India, the religious communities are often divided, but on the subject of the Taj Mahal, there is harmony. Starting in childhood, everyone learns to respect this national symbol, whatever their religion. The story of Shah Jahan is taught in all the schools, both Muslim and Hindu. The Taj Mahal is often the subject of history lessons, and if you ask the children of Agra, they all know its story.
Now, what do you know about the Taj Mahal? It's a symbol of love. I think it's the finest monument in all of the world. Many of my family work at the Taj Mahal, and it makes me very proud when I have the chance to talk about it.
When Mahipal was a child, he too was immersed in this atmosphere. His pride in the monument his ancestors built started young. Now, of course, it's business-driven, but if you scratch the surface, the childhood memories come flooding back. This afternoon, he's decided to forget about business and meet some customers he's become friendly with to give them a present. They're meeting in a park near the Taj Mahal. He's promised to show them the best place to photograph the sun setting behind the tomb, a place that he himself was shown as a child. Getting this special picture will take a bit of effort. They must climb to the top of a small hill hidden among the trees. After half an hour, they reach the top. Just in time.
Take a good look. In just a few minutes, the sun will set right over the point of the dome.
In Agra, some believe that at a certain hour, the ghost of the princess comes calling the sun.
It's a very special surrounding that makes it very special. It's much more beautiful than any picture can show you.
Early in the morning, just across the river from the Taj Mahal, people come to pay their last respects to the dead. The soul will take one last journey through the cleansing flames. And the Taj Mahal is a door which opens on eternity. But in Agra, life is beginning again.
From here, yes. We don't go in this
Today,
road, we go to
Makul will be guiding another group of tourists.
Which takes us to Taj Mahal.
This evening, Madhu will play for them after her daily 3 hours of practice. Often, hidden behind the scenes, all the faithful servants of the Taj Mahal will be there to welcome them. Kishore, the gardener. Leela, the stone carver. The hundreds of people who take care of the monument every day. Mahipal, the photographer, will frame them in his lens. And if they're lucky, perhaps he'll take them to the top of that hill to wait for the ghost of the princess.